Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan receives a written message from His Highness Emir of Kuwait handed over to His Excellency Sayyid Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court. The strategic dialogue session between the Sultanate and France discusses supporting economic and commercial partnership and strengthening cultural and scientific cooperation. In its sixth edition, Gas Manufacturers Association Conference discusses safety and reliability of gas processing operations in the Sultanate. Specialized Libraries Conference reviews 50 work papers on managing big data and knowledge integration. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed received a written message from His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait. The message was handed over to His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court, when he received in his office this afternoon His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed Al Abdullah Al Mubarak Al Sabah, Deputy Minister of Amiri Diwan Affairs, envoy of the Emir of Kuwait. During the meeting, cordial talks were exchanged and bilateral relations between the two brotherly countries were reviewed. A number of political issues of mutual concern were at the core of discussions during the meeting held between His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, and His Excellency Maurice Gordo Montane, Secretary General of the Ministry of European and Foreign Affairs of France, who is currently visiting the Sultanate within the framework of the regular strategic dialogue session between the foreign ministries of the Sultanate and France. During the dialogue sessions, the two sides discussed horizons of strengthening bilateral relations and means of boosting cooperation in different promising fields of mutual interest, supporting partnership on the economic and commercial level, and strengthening cultural cooperation, education and knowledge. On the diplomatic and political level, the two sides exchanged points of view on a number of challenges, current regional and international issues, and the efforts have exerted to solve the peaceful through dialogue and negotiations. The Omani side was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, whereas the French side by His Excellency Maurice Gordo Montane, Secretary General of the Ministry of European and Foreign Affairs. Under the theme Enhancing the Safety, Reliability and Efficiency of Gas Processing Operations, works of the Gas Manufacturers Association Annual Conference were inaugurated this morning at the Shangri-La Bar Al Jissa Resort. The conference is organized by the Oman Liquefied Natural Gas Company and the GCC Gas Manufacturers Association. This conference, in its 26th edition, aims to exchange expertise and skills among experts and specialists from inside and outside the Sultanate and to get acquainted with the latest developments in the gas fields. A number of work papers and discussion sessions will be held in the conference meant to enable officials, decision makers and specialists in the gas field to exchange knowledge, raise their awareness level and to discuss strategic options of the natural gas resources items or in terms of energy sustainability, its role in social and economic progress and challenges facing the gas field and means of overcoming them. The inauguration ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Aufi and the Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas, who stressed on the importance of this conference in the communication between the manufacturers of equipment used in the production of gas and manufacturing and production companies. The 24th Annual Conference and Exhibitions of the Specialized Libraries Associations in the Arab Gulf Chapter SLA and the AGC was held today under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al Harrasi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television at the Grand Millennium Hotel, Muscat. The conference and exhibition are organized by SLA and AGC in cooperation with Sultan Qaboos University, represented by the Department of Information Studies at the College of Arts and Social Sciences. The conference was held under the title Big Data and its Investment Prospect, the Way Towards Knowledge Integration, and included 50 working papers and 100 speakers. SLA and AGC seek to discuss the issues related to the management of big data and its investment by beneficiaries and specialists, bring together applications from researchers, academics, and users in the area of information studies and related disciplines. And now to the international news. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg paid an official visit to Iraq today, during which he met the country's Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi. The two discussed the security situation in the country and the strengthening of cooperation between NATO and Iraq. At the request of the Iraqi government, NATO is planning to scale up its support with a new training mission in the country. Stoltenberg's visit came a few days after Iraq's lawmakers called for the withdrawal of foreign military presence in Iraq. Stoltenberg also paid a visit to NATO training facilities in Bismaya while in Iraq. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has agreed to hold a landmark summit meeting with South Korea's president next month and impose a moratorium on nuclear and missiles tests if his country holds talks with the United States. South Korea's Presidential National Security Director said the two Koreans agreed to hold their third ever summit at a tense border village in late April. He also said the leaders will establish a hotline communication channel to lower military tensions and speak together before the planned summit. A 10-member South Korean delegation met Kim during a two-day visit to Pyongyang, North Korea's capital. Tensions had run high during the previous year because of a barrage of North Korean weapons tests. The two past summits in 2000 and 2007 were held between Kim's late father, Kim Jong-il, and two liberal South Korean presidents. They resulted in a series of cooperative projects between the Koreans that were scuttled during subsequent conservative administrations in South Korea. Water companies in southeastern England and in Wales are asking customers to use less water after the rapid thaw following a recent freeze caused pipes to burst throughout their networks. A statement issued Monday by Thames Water, Southeast Water, Southern Water and Affinity Water says significant number of customers are without water or have low pressure. The water companies say they are working hard to prioritize supplies for vulnerable customers to provide bottled water where necessary. Welsh Water also warned of burst pipes. Temperatures rose above freezing over the weekend in Britain after days of unusually low temperatures. The big freeze caused travel chaos throughout the country, with hundreds of flights cancelled, train travel disrupted, and roads blocked by snow drifts. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The Petroleum Development Oman PDO gives away Green Energy Awards to winning schools and SMEs. Once again, welcome to the Sultanate of Oman television. And now, here we present to you the remaining of the news. Reviewing aspects of legislations and monitoring fields between the Sultanate and European Union topped the meeting of His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal al-Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council and European Union delegation, which chaired by Roberto Swarci, chairperson of the group work specialized of the Middle East and Gulf in the European Union, which currently visited the Sultanate. During the meeting, they were briefed about powers granted to the Shura Council members in addition to the roles of permanent committees in the Council. His Excellency Chairman of the Council presented a brief about the legislations and monitoring works of the Council in addition to review a number of topics of mutual concern. Empowerment of the small and medium-sized enterprises in the field of innovation and finding products and services that has intellectual property topped the terms of technical cooperation program, which signed by the Public Authority for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Development RIADA with the World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO. The signing of the cooperation program came while the meeting of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud Al-Sinadi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, with His Excellency Francis Gary, General Manager of WIPO, and his accompanied delegation. The meeting reviewed the opportunities of benefiting from services of international organization in the field of maximize interest from the project of simulation of living on Mars, which implementing recently in the Sultanate, in addition to review the national strategy for innovation and discussing aspects of cooperation between both sides. Research cooperation between the Sultanate and World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO, in addition to supported mechanisms and its development means, topped the meeting of His Excellency Dr. Hilal bin Ali Al-Hinai, Secretary General of the Research Council, and His Excellency Francis Gary, General Manager of the organization, who currently visit the Sultanate. During the meeting, they reviewed multi-research aspects which conducted by the Research Council in the Sultanate. The technical committee concerned about the interim mechanism for urban planning approved on its meeting today the alternative scheme for the detailed planning projects for new urbanized complex at Najd in the Wilaya of Thamreed. They also discussed changing of land use in the Wilaya of Sohar, in addition to review 40 technical and planning topic. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Engineer Saif bin Amr Al-Shakhsi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Housing. A vehicle carrying school students met with an accident in Hail Al-Masbat in the Niyabat of Jabal Al-Akhdar this morning. The Royal Oman Police reported that the accident resulted in the death of 3 students and serious injury to 9 others. They were transferred to the health center in Niyabat Jabal Al-Akhdar and Nizwa Hospital in the Governorate of Al-Dakhiliya. Lieutenant Colonel Khamis bin Hamdan Al-Saidi, a traffic director in the Wilaya of Nizwa, confirmed that the initial reasons for the accidents were due to the driver's preoccupation and careless driving. More than 500,000 transactions and services were accomplished through the e-gate of Senate Services Center during months of January and February 2018. These statistics indicate a trust that Senate Services Centers gained from both public and private establishments. The centers also approved their ability to render high-quality services and process transactions in 24 hours. It's worth mentioning that the total number of Senate centers reached 660, distributed in various governorates of the Sultanate. They are run by qualified and trained national manpower, and they provide around more than 1,900 job opportunities. Petroleum Development Oman PDO today honored Omani students and entrepreneurs whose innovative ideas triumphed in 2 new competitions to promote the use of greener energy. The event was presided over by His Excellency Mohammed bin Abdullah Al-Mahrouqi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Electricity and Water. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi.
Students from 5 schools picked up prizes in PDO's inaugural Renewable Energy Awards for entries including an app alerting users to how much energy their homes are consuming, a solar-powered smart bird cage which cleans itself, a park harnessing the energy generated by children on play equipment, and the production of energy from the bacterial breakdown of monoclonal sugars in plants.
We received 150 applications from government schools and 20 applications from SMEs. This means that there is huge, appetite by our students and our SMEs to promote renewable energies ideas, which really will help the economy of the Sultanate.
The Renewable Energy Awards were launched in cooperation with the Ministry of Education on Oman Environment Day in January to build a positive environmental and research culture across the Sultanate and enhance student awareness in the field of renewable energy.
I was part of the ranking group for the proposals. I was so much pleased with their innovations, with the maturity of their ideas. The part of the ranking criteria was, the maturity, the genuity of the idea, and the applicability, taking the idea from the concept stage to the commercialization stage.
PDO also launched another contest aimed at Omani businesses in conjunction with the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises, RIADA, under the umbrella of its new Istidama Sustainability Energy Management Program. The program is dedicated to building a positive environmental culture across Oman by focusing on 6 main pillars: renewable energy, people, energy efficiency, environment, energy saving, and economy.
It is about automatic dust cleaning machine. It is dry cleaning system to clean the panels. As we know, the accumulative dust for solar panel, it can reduce, regard our calculation, 40% efficient from the solar panel in desert. So we try to develop this system as a dry cleaning because, as you know, the sweet water in Oman, it's expensive and we spend a lot of electricity and water treatment and water desalination.
It is worth mentioning that PDO will provide training to selected winners to further develop their scientific knowledge and progress their ideas. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
This innovative ideas hour is encouraging in the country. In recognition of their outstanding achievements in support field, Minister of Sports Affairs held a ceremony to honor students excelled in sports activities in 2017. The ministry honored around 450 male and female players representing various sports unions and committees. The honoring comes to encourage sportsmen and sportwomen to exert more efforts in order to represent the Sultanate in various international events. The 450 Omani male and female players achieved a number of golden medals in golf level, in football, bowling, chess, and etc. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Saad bin Mohammed Al Mardouf, Minister of Sports Affairs. A number of fine artists from various countries in the world exchanged thoughts in the International Forum for Fine Arts, which hosted by the Sultanate. The forum, which organized by Oman Fine Arts Association, seeks to enrich the artistic movement and give opportunity for Omani fine artists to meet a group of international artists for exchanging experiences. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Omar Al Marhoun, Minister of Civil Service. And now it's the time for looking at the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night over the governorates of Al-Dhahira and Al-Buremi. Winds will be northerly to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan receives a written message from His Highness Emir of Kuwait handed over by His Excellency Sayyid Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court. Strategic dialogue session between the Sultanate and France discusses supporting economic and commercial partnership and strengthening cultural and scientific cooperation. In its 6th edition, Gas Manufacturers Association Conference discusses safety and reliability of gas processing operations in the Sultanate. Specialized Libraries Conference reviews 50 working papers on managing big data and knowledge integration. That we do conclude this news bulletin. The entire news team from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television do thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.